Hi everybody, my name is Kunle Pelemo. You can call me KP. I'm asking you to join me every Friday 5:30 p.m. GMT on the MHAASP Show right here on MZ Radio London. It's a show where we talk about mental health and suicide prevention. Set a reminder for that. And just before I go, I want to let you know I care about your mental health. And you know what? Stick around right here on this station. Don't go nowhere.
Stick around right here on this station. Don't go nowhere. This is the and AP Radio UK. How are you doing? How's your day been? From wherever you're listening, appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining the show today. And if you have someone who is not listening yet, like I used to say, you could just go ahead and reach out to that person that the show is about to start, as we have a bumper package on the show today as usual. Thank you so much once again. My name is Kule Pelemo. I haven't changed my name and I don't think I will. I love the name. I'm sure you love yours too. So yeah, and I will be with you, for about 30 minutes or so, where we are going to rub minds together as regards mental health related issues as well as suicide prevention. Yeah, I'll be very, very transparent to tell you that there is a little mixed up as regards the guest that I am supposed to have on the show today. It's about timing and the rest. Somehow we didn't get the time right. My guest was supposed to join from the United States, but somehow I think there was a little bit time misunderstanding, and so um, he will not be able to join today. We were supposed to discuss the influence of politics on mental health on the show today. Tammy Odimayo from United States was supposed to join to do justice to that topic, but somehow that will be deferred and we will have to reschedule that. And yeah, no doubt it's still going to be a great time with me on the show. I'm sure you're going to learn one thing or the other as I have improvised on what to really talk about on the show today. So have no fear. Today, I'm going to quickly talk on mental health prescriptions in a socially distant world. Mental health prescriptions in a socially distant world. Remember how distant we are in our world today in terms of maintaining social distancing as a result of the pandemic that the world is going through, and it has created a whole lot of issue, both emotionally, psychological issue in people. But somehow we have the ability to adapt, we have the ability to cope with whatever situation we are going through as a human being. So that is why it's important. So somehow it's just us not knowing how to do those things that might create problem, and that will definitely go a long way in impacting our mental health. So how do we now cope with the way things are in the world? We have some people who have not seen their say I keep conversations across the globe when it comes to mental health of people, knowing the state of things of the world that I really need to reach out to see how they are also helping their people in that particular area. For example, in India now, that the third wave is totally, permit me to use the word, is totally, I mean, it's alarming. Yeah, it's alarming, right now. And somehow a whole lot of people are getting down, and they are the rate at which people are contracting the virus now is getting on the high side, and that will definitely create emotional tension on people, which will impact their mental health. And that's why it's important this time that we, one way or the other, help ourselves to let us know what we can do and how we can help in terms of our mental health. So, what are those prescriptions that I have for you? Before I go, sometimes last year, as a result of what is going on, the United Nations had even said it that there will be a surge in mental health related cases. And before, what we used to have is that 1 in 6 of us will experience mental health problem in any given week. That's 1 in 6 of us. But now that we have an issue that is global, that means that stat will have increased, and that means something positive must be done. Then there is also another stat that says 1 in 30 experience post-traumatic stress disorder. That's PTSD. 1 in 30. And you know what trauma is all about as a result of what you experienced personally or what you witnessed, an event that either you experienced personally or you witnessed that is now creating a kind of emotional tension on you, mere remembering or picturing or imagining that kind of event. So 1 in 30 experienced such before. But now you've seen a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people have lost their job. A whole lot of people have lost their loved ones. And then the news all over is creating tension all around. So what do we do? And look at another stat that says children with anxiety disorder are less likely to receive treatment. And remember now that even ease of going to the hospital is somehow not as it used to be. And somehow our frontline workers are stretched beyond their limit. So that means some people who are receiving treatment, as regards their mental health prior to this period, will definitely find it more difficult to get treatment somehow because the facilities are stretched beyond limit. The workers who are there also are stretched beyond limit. So we have a whole lot of things that are totally working somehow in code against us, but we still need to cope. And in 2005, there was a stat that says that depression rate rose by 65% rather with the advent of smartphones. Remember that generally, as human beings, we are created to be social. That's we are social beings. We are created to associate and communicate. And a breach in this order creates a kind of gap, either physically, emotionally, or psychologically. And somehow that is what we are experiencing in our world today. We are becoming socially distant. We are becoming even physically distant. And it's creating a kind of hole. It's creating a kind of vacuum that needs to be filled in people. And that's why you find a whole lot of people, they are in the midst of plenty. They are in the midst of multitude, but they are lonely. I call it loneliness in the midst of multitude. And that's why you have people who are just living together. They are just being together physically, but emotionally they are so distant. They are so far apart. So, and I found out that one of the greatest catastrophes to mankind is when technology advances at the expense of human health, in which mental health is a key component. In which mental health is a key component. And somehow these days we make use of the social media a lot. And yeah, remember what I said earlier on that with the advent of smartphones, depression rate rose drastically. So how come that something that is considered to be one of the greatest discovery in technology is drifting us so far apart? I call it the 3 B's of social media. The 3 B's of social media. Number one is the beauty. We know how beautiful social media could be in terms of helping us in networking, in advertising, sales and marketing, information, sensitization, as well as even leisure. All these factors that I mentioned, they are the good things that the social media could offer us. Sometimes there are people that you will never thought you will have met, but because of the use of social media in one way or the other, you got connected and then you're relating, you're interacting. What about people who advertise their jobs, or advertise what they sell? You know, a whole lot of people sold so well even during the lockdown and restriction period in countries, because of the fact that through social media they can reach out to a whole lot of people. People can place order and then they make sales. So that is also good. And what about information? Just a way of spreading information. I know in countries we have freedom of information bill, whereby people are free. But somehow the social media has also even helped to create that kind of platform whereby people can easily spread information, to one another. Although there has been debate on how, people should be mindful of the kind of information they spread, not to go ahead and spread fear, and panic, across. So all these are part of the what I call the beauty of the social media. Then what about leisure? Sometimes you get in there, you watch comedy, you watch movie, and every other thing social media, under what I call the three B's, which I will quickly explain. So we've talked about the beauty. Now, what about the beast? That's the second B, the beast. You know, because research has revealed how the use of social media can affect our mental health. Yes. So how come, the technology that I have outlined, the beauty with, that has great benefit, how come is now tearing us apart? It was discovered that the relationship between the rise in depression and that of but not causation. That means the rise correlates with the advent of the social media, and not really because it was social media that caused it. So somehow it has to do with the way people make use of that, you know, and then it will now lead to whatever negative effect it's leading to. And what are those things that people really don't do well, that might lead to them having one issue as regards their mental health with the use of social media? We have the distraction it can lead to. That's negative concentration. When you are supposed to do one thing but you're always on your phone, it gets too distracted. Sometimes you're in a meeting, you are still checking the feeds on your social media handles or platforms in order to get things. So somehow it gets you distracted. So it can mount a whole lot of pressure on you because it's causing you distraction, either knowingly or otherwise. Then what about the fear of missing out? A whole lot of people keep posting, a whole lot of people just try to keep up because they want to be up to date as a result of what they see people do on the social media. You want to snap, good pictures, filtered, well filtered. You want to use luxury cars to snap so that people will see that you're doing well. You want to go to places, you want to just show off, you want to do those things. I'm not saying doing those things are bad, but somehow when you make them those priorities that you must, because you just want to keep up, it's called FOMO, fear of missing out. You don't want to miss out. That's how it will create more pressure, more tension on you, that even not doing it now will have you become anxious. Then that's how anxiety sets in. So all these are just the practices that are totally not good, that people that we see people do, that can have a negative effect on their on their mental health as a result of keeping up with what is on the social media. Then what about low self-esteem as a result of undue comparison? Low self-esteem. You see your friend put up a very good picture, well dressed, nice house, and the rest, and then you are thinking, yeah, somehow you cannot meet up, or somehow, why is yours like this? Why are you not having such kind of access to those kind of things? You begin to compare yourself unduly. You begin to use other people's success to judge yourself, and by that you create more and more problem for you psychologically. You begin to define your success from other people's perception. That's their comments now, whether they like you or not, Sometimes you even post pictures to call people to like, hey, I posted picture, you didn't even like my picture. You just want people to validate you before you validate yourself. It's totally wrong. We believe that other people are luckier than us, and that kind of belief system is called subpar belief system. And one word from Tony Robbins says, comparing yourself to others is the enemy of self confidence. So you have to definitely look into that. I need a glass of water now. I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, the show continues. It's right here by Shane Ebenezer. I'll be back shortly.
Rocking the waves with great music. MZ Radio London, station on the hill.
I'm Z Radio London, station on the hill. A P in the building. Thank you to you, yes, for listening. I so much appreciate remember we're talking about the prescriptions of how to live mentally healthy in this socially distant world. That's the world whereby we have so much imputed ourselves in the use of social media, and it's creating a distance even in the midst of multitude. Remember, I was saying some things about the three B's of social media. That's the beauty, the beast, and then the third B now is going to be the best practice. Best practice. So it's important we learn how to best use our, the technology. Let me use it generally, the technology that is available to us, so that we can make the optimum use of it and get the value in it without it impairing our mental health in any way. The first thing that I will suggest is for you to be a mindful user of technology. Be a mindful user. That's, be mindful of it. You have the ability to control. What about the news that you read? What about your feed? You have that ability to do that. So number one is be a mindful user. And what are those things that you can do? Number one thing under that is you can create for yourself a balanced media diet. create for yourself a balanced media diet. Just like we talk about us taking balanced diet when it talks about the food that we eat, the same way it's applicable to your use of technology or the use of media, whether social media or even the traditional media. Create for yourself a balanced media diet. Be a mindful user. So that means when, I mean, there are some people that the only news they're going to send to you are news of evil things that are happening in the world. How many people are dying somewhere? I mean, places where there are wars, and they keep bombarding you with such broadcasts. I mean, you have the control over what you download. You have the control over what you access, what you read, in order to at least keep your sanity. So create for yourself a balanced media diet. Read about social things, read about religious stuff, feed your mind. I mean, create, a total package for yourself. Things that feed your body, spirit, soul, all together, so that there will be a kind of balance. Somehow, as well, this is important. Number two, create a phone free time daily. It's important. Create a phone free time daily. It might be 30 minutes, it might be 15 minutes, it might be, just create a phone free time daily for yourself. It will help you. So that means it's not all the time you should be, because the screen time is increasing every day, and it's impacting people's mental health. You know, try as much as possible to filter your notifications. Don't even answer the call. You put that phone in silent mode. You don't answer the call. I know you have important calls to answer, but there are times whereby you just need to rest, just need to put the phone away from you. It has a notification that shows you that it's a notification. There's a notification waiting for you. Some your psyche. Once you see that thing, it tells you open. Things that we don't even need. Some applications that you just downloaded either by mistake or somehow. Um, just turn them off. Turn notification, because mere seeing them somehow will definitely create an impact on your mental health. Tension that I have something I have not viewed. I have something I've not attended to. So turn off such notifications so that you will help your mind. The reason is because you can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. Then that talks about you becoming a mindful user. That's number one. Number two is fill your feed with positivity. Fill your feed with positivity. That means your social media feed, try as much as possible to put positive things there. I don't know whether it happens to you. There are sometimes there is something that Facebook normally does. It's called Facebook memory. It will bring things that you've done in the past and just bring it. Sometimes such things are helpful. Sometimes you just saw something that you wrote maybe 5 years ago and they are edifying. You read them and then you still get excited. Wow, this is wonderful. So imagine if it's just a bad news that you put there. Imagine if it is something that is scary, something that could create a panic effect on you. Same way you are going to see it, and then such thing will recur. So try as much as possible to fill your feed with positivity, so that a time will come that you could just scroll your page and you go back to something that you've written in the past, and then such things will still help you even in the present time. So fill your feed with positivity, things that can help you along the line. Another thing that you will do, that's number three, is spend time with people who are good for your mental health. This is very important. Spend time with people that are good for your mental health. So, who are those people that you keep? I mean, the company you keep plays a huge role in determining how mentally healthy you will become, because that's going to determine the kind of conversations you create. I mean, that's also going to determine who is going to help you whenever you are down. Some of us will. So it's important. And the people who are close to you, your company, the company you keep, are the people that are like the first people that you are going to reach. So who are those people? So that's why it's important you look at the circle of people health, not people who push you into undue competition. I want to buy this. What about you? I want to get this. What about you? And then you are just trying to keep up, and it's telling on you financially. And when you are experiencing financial stress, somehow it's going to tell you on your emotional and mental health, somehow. So the kind of people you move with also will speak a lot about how healthy you will be mentally. And then if it's harming your mental health, it's time to log off. If it is harming your mental health, it's time to log off. So don't be afraid when you turn on the news and you found out that it's nothing edifying. You have the remote control, shut it down. If it's harming your mental health, it's time to log off. If someone is creating a conversation that is harming your mental health, you could just shut that conversation down, log off. There is no crime in it, because it's about your health, it's about your sanity, it's about your mental health. If it's harming your mental health, log off. And the last but not the least that I'm going to talk about is for you to also take cognizance of your physical health. Take cognizance of your physical health, because there is also a relationship between your physical health and your mental health. There are hormones produced in your body as a result of what you eat. Your physical health comprises of your diet and exercise. Mostly that's what you eat, and then how you exercise your body. So that's what makes up your physical health. It's important you watch what you eat, and then somehow exercise your body. Take a walk, ride a bicycle, try to just have a seesaw, just do something, move your body. When you keep moving, somehow it's impacting your mental health. Sometimes what you need is just a change of state. Somebody says change your state, change your emotion. You are talking about yourself being down emotionally, and then you sit down, your heads are bowed, somehow, and you are in the party of people whose heads are bowed, like a pity party. There is no how you can gain, an upthrust in your emotion then. So change your state, change your emotion. So sometimes you need to move around, because somehow physical health also can impact your mental health. There are hormones secreted in your body when you are exercising your body that will create a feel good effect on you generally. So, and then such is also applicable to the food we eat, the meal we eat. So sometimes eat good diet, vegetables, food that has a lot of vitamins, proteins, just the normal way of eating, and then you will see a good return in your mental health as a whole. Oh, check time. We're almost out of time. 30 minutes seems like 3 minutes when we are on the show. I want to thank you for joining for another edition of the show today. I so much appreciate your time. Janet Mugosa, you've been a wonderful person. Thank you for tuning in again. I appreciate you. And on this note, I want to say next week we're going to have a guest, no doubt about it. What we will talk about, I'll keep that one, in the locker. I'm going to unveil that, very, very soon. For those who follow me, because you will see that. Thanks to my producer, Mr. Soji Harmony on MZ Radio London and O Fields on AP Radio UK. See you guys next week. Stay mentally healthy. I'll leave you with a song of Pastor Grace Additional, My Soul, My Spirit. Bye.